Welcome, everybody. This is our annual holiday coaching conference. I'm Stuart, and
I'm Mike.
there you go. Well done, Mike.
Just like we rehearsed it.
Just like we rehearsed. So we're going to cut down to the banter, get right to it, because we've got a phenomenal amount of high quality tips, and not just tips just sitting out there. Do this, do this, do that, but how to apply them to. We're going to go back and forth. We're going to give you anecdotes, give you examples, and make this fun, make this inspiring, and we wish you a super successful 2018. And we do this every year. We're grateful that you're here. The replay link will be sent to you tomorrow. If you want a PDF copy of this, you can request it. If you have questions, comments, suggestions, and corrections, go ahead and type it into the question box. And we promise to hang around after to we'll stay, right, Mike? We cleared the whole day. We'll stay as long as they need us to stay for Q&A.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
All right, take this slide, because before we start, we just we're not sponsored by Chrysler or Ford or Nike or Amazon. We're sponsored by ourselves. Mike, who's
Yes.
who's sponsoring you?
The Inner Circle. My membership site, the Inner Circle, is sponsoring my side of the program, the good side of the program. Inner Circle, private membership site.
And the other half of the program is sponsored by my group sales bootcamp. We'll have our URLs, our email addresses up there. And to be honest with you, our number one priority, Mike, and I think you agree, that we do this complimentary for the industry because it's our way of giving back. We love you guys. We're grateful for your being here, for your support. And the number two, what we want back from you is, hey, use this stuff, apply it, and connect with us. So, sign up to be on Mike's list, sign up to be on my list, because we do stuff like this all year, and it would be nice to be connected. If you want to buy something from us, okay, but we're not here to sell you anything other than on these new ideas. Mike, anything to add before we get rolling?
No, we're ready to roll. Let's start cooking.
Ready to roll. Number one, it's not the customer's fault for not knowing your value. Just the other day, friends, I was with a good friend who had just booked a cruise. And I said, "Did you use an agent?" And she said, "No, what do I need an agent for?" Ah! I'm sure you've heard this before. And to me, it's like nails on a chalkboard. It drives me crazy. The question here is, she said, why? Why do I need an agent? The problem today, friends, is that so many consumers out there, whether they're young or older, they forgot what you do. They forgot your value. They don't even know some of you exist anymore. So I'm going to tell you how to combat this. This is important. This is who you are, and this is your purpose in life as a travel agent, because it's what you signed up for. Number one, you reduce stress and risk. So what you need to do is, when she says to you, "What are you good for? What do I need you for?" Click, 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 I booked it myself. You need to give examples of how you reduce stress and risk, because if you're not, then I don't need you. Number two, you add value and convenience. How are you going to make the experience so much better so that I don't have to wait online, so that when I come back, I don't miss things? When I come back, I'm not angry at you or angry at myself that I didn't know I could have pre-booked this or done this. What can you do for me to make the whole experience better? Basically, take it from good to great. Friends, this is your purpose. And your mission in life is to convince people they should never even think of booking a vacation or a group without you. You're up, Mike.
All right, my number one, folks, I wanted to introduce you to 4 soul-searching questions. We can't dot all of the I's, but I want to give you some nuggets from things to think about. There's a handout in the pull-down menu. You can print out this the show notes, if you will, so you can review them later. But I want you to think about this. Whom do you serve? Who are you in business to serve? Historically, travel agents try to do it to everybody. I can do it for everybody. Those days are over. Decide who you want to dance with, who you want to do business with, who you want to marry. Once you decide who your target is, you can go out and approach that target more effectively. Number one, what are you, as Stuart said, what are you bringing to the party? Why do you want to know me? What's better about your life having me walking into it? What value am I bringing to this situation? Years ago, travel agents had all the information. Now Google has everything that we have. So we have to work hard on the value, this intrinsic value we're bringing to the relationship. Then we know what it is. How are we going to convey that message to our audience? And that could be emails or teleseminars or webinars. Think about what's going on right now. Stuart and I are talking to you, but we're not talking to one person or two people or three people. There's over 100 people, or maybe you're cut off at 100, Stuart. 200 people asked to be on this show. 100 are listening, and it's a webinar. Why travel agents don't do the same thing? Why you don't have a show and talk to 200 people at once is mind-boggling to me, but it's something that you can do in the year 2018. And the last question is, I want you to think about going into the next 3 weeks, is how are you going to go acquire new customers? Not at the expense of your current customers. How are you going to introduce yourself, become visible in the marketplace, so you can meet new people, and then they can decide whether they want to do business with you or not. Stuart, you're on.
Thank you, Mike. The more you bore, the less you influence. Ladies and gentlemen, your role is to influence, to convince somebody this trip is better than this. Do this, don't do this. You're an influencer. But here's the problem. We sit back at our desk and we kind of get stale, meaning if I called you right now and said, hey, describe that beach to me in Jamaica, but then if you jump on an aeroplane, you go down to Jamaica and sit on that beach, and I say, hey, would you describe that beach to me in Jamaica? How different would you sound? Very different. Think about this, friends. You guys travel a lot. When you're sitting on that beach and you're describing what you see, you're filled with passion. You're filled with descriptions that have action to them, and you make other people envious. So here's the problem. We get back to our office and we lose that. Every day that goes by that we're farther and farther away from that beach or from that cruise ship, we forget. We lose the passion. So here's the antidote. Number one, never leave a naked noun. A naked noun is bare, it's barren, it's boring. So use adjectives, use verbs, friends. Next, put an end to feature speak. I mean, after all, this is all about talking about benefits, not features. And the way you talk about benefits is you describe the experience. I'm sitting on this beach right now and I'm putting my toes on the sand, and the sand is kind of warm, but it's real. It's wonderful. And oh, you've got to smell how beautiful this smell is. And I can hear the ocean. It's real, gentle and quiet and serene. These are the words you need to use, and never leave that noun naked so that it comes to life. So friends, when you show up for work, talk like you're on the beach. Mike.
Yeah, you know, while you were just mentioning that, I just grabbed a book off my desk here before I go on to the number one problem. I don't know if you can see this, but there's writing in the book. Can you see that, Stuart? The underline and the circle, the arrow.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry. That's just to remind you that I've already read this book once, but I'm reading it a second time. It's by Ann Handley, and it's called Everybody Writes. If you're looking for something to do next year, pick this book up. It's called Everybody Writes by Ann Handley. And it throws away the English history, the high school English classes and the nouns and the verbs, and it tells adults how to convey their information on paper to other adults. Great book, easy to read. I highly recommend it. Number one problem in your business, I believe, I can't do business with you. I can't select you or decide not to do business with you until something happens. And that something is I must know that you are alive. I think in the travel industry, the number one biggest problem, not enough people, not enough of the right people know that you're alive. Visibility is your number one concern. As 2018 unfolds, focus on the concept, become more visible in your writing, in your speaking, in your networking. Show people you're alive, and then they can decide if they like you or if they don't like you, if they want to do business with you or if they don't. Visibility, number one problem, easy to fix in 2018. Stuart.
I love it. Thank you, Mike. Next. SUPERSIZE satisfaction and profits. Any of you who know me probably have heard me use the word supersize before, whether I'm doing a webinar or a keynote or a workshop. I'm a big believer in this, friends. Supersize. You see, all of us in society, we're going through radical downsizing. Good luck going to buy a gallon of milk. A gallon of ice cream. The prices have stayed the same, but they're putting less and less product in. Well, we can fix this. We can solve this. We can come to the rescue with vacations by supersizing it. What's supersizing? Well, Mike, basically supersizing is charging a little bit more, but giving a whole lot more. That really dramatically changes the experience, doing the opposite of radical downsizing. And not only will you increase satisfaction, but you can increase your profits too. So friends, listen to me carefully. Stop selling the off-the-shelf, bare-bones, stripped-down product. If you're just selling, I'll say it again, the off-the-shelf, bare-bones, stripped-down product, then what do I need you for? I can book it 20,000, 50,000 other places. Click online, call direct, supersize it. What can you add that will reduce stress and risk, add value and convenience, and transform the entire experience from good to great? Now, I say this with all due respect, but bring your brains to work and create a more inclusive experience. Sometimes we get lazy. We do what's simple. So we sell the product as is without putting any more thought into it. Well, friends, do your job, man. Get creative. What would you do? What would you want? Go for the good to great experience. Your clients will love you and they would never think of going anyplace else. Back to you, Mike.
I'm going to talk about some of my plan. The next 3 slides I have are the marketing plan, the sales plan, and the customer service plan. I spent the first 60 years of my life in the state of New Jersey, the Garden State, of course.
I'm sorry.
And we learned, yeah, that's the way it goes. I finally got out. However, that we did learn, and we don't want to make things simple, but we want to make things so you understand it and it's doable. Okay, now I'm going to give you right now my 12-word marketing plan. And if you follow this plan in 2018, you are going to be better off for it. And here are the 12 words, as simple as I can make it. Get up, get out of the chair, get up, get your body in motion, get out of bed, get up. That's 2 words, easy. Get up, get out. Get out on the street, get out where the people are, go to the conferences, go to networking, go to the supermarket, go where your customers are, your clients are, your prospects. Get up, get out, and here's the key. Make other people glad that they know you. There's a lot of ways to do that, of course, but I'm going to give you a little hint right now. The way you get other people to like you, to glad that they know you, is for you to become interested in them. For a person to be judged as interesting, they first have to be interested. Be interested in other people. Get up, get out, and make other people glad they know you. Your 12-word marketing plan, you can take it to the bank. Next.
Take it to the bank. Thanks, Mike. That's great. Next up, groups make more sense. And I mean sense as in financial and sense as in good business decision. You see, I believe one specific area, and those of you who are in my group boot camp know this, my passion for this, is that one specific area in our industry that a consumer simply cannot do. And if they do, they mess it up. And suppliers direct can only deliver a one-dimensional experience, right? Because they can't go outside of their little zone. The dot-coms, no way, it's less than one-dimensional. They'll do a lousy job of doing groups. Friends, only you can do groups. So I'm a big, firm believer that if you get into this business as a dedicated niche and stop babbling and get into it big time, put both feet in, dive in, you will have what I call an obsolete proof business. So here's some news you may not want to hear, but you need to. Your clients are already going on groups, just not with you. Because maybe you've told them that you do groups, big deal. But have you asked? Now write this down, it's not on the slide, but I'm going to give you the greatest group pickup line in the industry, I should say in the world. Here we go. Your group pickup line is, what special occasions are on your horizon? That's it. What special occasion? You ask everybody that question, everyone's going to have an answer, and maybe, just maybe, group travel is a wonderful solution that they need. And quit searching for group leaders. Everyone says, where do I find group leaders? I'm telling you to stop looking for them. If you really want to find them, you look in the yellow pages, but they're going to be super savvy and they're going to ask for too much. You can make them, create them. People don't know they're group leaders. They don't know yet. And are you leading your own group every year? Are you doing a president's cruise, a president's trip? Why not? It's a piece of cake. Every year it will grow. In fact, Mike, he does his own cruise every year because he wasn't going to wait to get the call, so he does it himself. You can do the same, friends. Take it away, Mike.
Well, I did that because I've been waiting for years for people to invite me to their party, and nobody invited me. So I decided to throw my own party, and there you go.
Yeah.
But it is true. And just today, to take off on Stuart's point a moment ago, I do an annual cruise. It's in March, so it's going to happen. It's called a group. It's going to happen. And just today, I wrote an email to my old fraternity brother, and I said, hey, we're going on a cruise. Why don't you join us? So the group doesn't have to be in a homogeneous group for you folks. You can have a group, small, big, whatever, and now you use that as the fulcrum. Look it up, Stuart. Fulcrum of you bringing other people in. We're going on a cruise. Why don't you join us? People today are too busy to think. They have ideas, but they don't have time to think of their own ideas. So you have to bounce ideas into their head. Why don't you take your child to Disney World? Why don't you have a family reunion? These are just ideas to stimulate their thinking. They're free. They're free. They're going to click once in a while. Number 4, your sales plan. Sorry, I digress. The sales plan, 4 words. Now, folks, it's only 4 words. Don't do it yet, Stuart. Don't hit the trigger yet. But these are very important, and it's gonna sound contrary to what you've always learned. You need to get people feeling comfortable with you. You need to have people feel welcome in your presence. Now, you do that not by talking. The gift of gab. You ought to be in sales. You have the gift of gab. That's a slur. They don't know what it is, but it's a slur. I don't have the gift of gab. I care about people and want to find a solution. If you want to sell more in 2018, Stuart, give me the slide. Get other people talking. Get them, the more they talk, which means hopefully the more you listen, the more they will like you. The more people who like you, the more people who will do business with you. So let's cut it down to 4 words. Get other people talking. Let me make that 2 words. Stop talking.
Wow.
Next slide.
Yeah, I like it. That was good. And I had to write that down. I don't know how to spell homogeneous and fulcrum, but I got to look both words up. This is big stuff.
Stuart. They're right there. Right there.
Everybody writes. Okay. All right. Wait. No, we're going to get back on track here. Oh, by the way, if you've just joined us, welcome. We will have Q&A at the end. Well, we're diving deep, and as you come up with questions, comments, suggestions, please go ahead. Let the fingers do the talking and type it into that question box. I promise we will get to you. My point here, Mike, is about those e-leads in your inbox, that they're not spam. Now, you're probably sitting there shaking your head saying, oh, yes, they are. Well, I'm here to tell you that if anyone is taking the time to fill out your contact me form on your website, my guess is they need something from you, because if they could have booked it themselves, they already would have. They've got a question. They've got a fear. There's something holding them back from just booking it with somebody else, booking it online, or booking it direct. Why on earth would you waste your time filling out a contact me form if you really didn't need help? So I'm giving you this love out of my book here that I wrote about how to turn those inbox leads into sales, to tell you that in as much as you distrust, you're not really sure who that person is, and man, if they just here kicking the tires and wasting my time. Well, that person who filled out that form in your inbox is thinking the same of you. Are you phony baloney? Are you a real travel agent? I don't know who the heck you are. Are you going to call me back? Do you know what you're talking about? Can you help me? So maybe I'll fill out 2 forms, maybe 3 contact me forms, because I don't know if you're ever going to call me back. So friends, real quick, treat those leads in your inbox as real people who need help. It's a gift that they're in your inbox. And it's all a matter of time. The faster you follow up, the faster you have an opportunity to get a brand new client who you have alleviated their fears. Because so many people today are afraid to book it by themselves. They may not think they're going to book it with you, but you're going to answer questions. But you're good at what you do. You're going to convince them that they've got to commit to you, because they want you in their corner, in their pocket, on their side, to make sure they don't miss a thing and don't come back disappointed. So that lead drops in the box, give it a whole new level of respect. That person needs you. You're up, Mike.
You know, that's a major point, Stuart, and it goes beyond emails. It's every day you meet people, and you're really good when you see them interested in travel. When they're not interested in travel, you may diss them and not even know it. You may just be moving over to looking for new business. Yeah. Case in point, I received an email this morning from a guy, I don't know who he is. He saw my articles on travel research online. He's in the business of writing articles. He contacted me to say, hey, Mike, I can ghost write articles for you. Now, that's his business. Now, I'm not interested in this fella at all, right, because I write my own articles, but he's trying to make a living. He saw a lead. He called me. I could delete his email. I could hang up on him. I could do anything I want. But when I do, that indicates that I'm less than squared away. Yeah. So here's an opportunity for me to get back to him, which I did this morning. And the first thing I said was, I applaud your follow-up. I write my own articles with my own voice, with my own history, with my own experience. So your service doesn't make sense to me at this time. Right. Okay. So I hung up the phone as one marketer to another marketer, eye to eye, just saying, you know, you happen to be talking to the wrong guy. But he's going to hang up and say, now that was a nice guy on the phone. Now, in your case, when you talk to a telemarketer or somebody, say, I appreciate you're trying to make a living. We are really not in the need for your service, but why don't you take my email down? Why don't you take my website down? Why don't you take my phone number down again? And next time you and your family are on a trip, maybe I can help you. Here's a stranger who's going to take a vacation, who you hang up and you call a telemarketer. Just take 2 more seconds, make an impression, and you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. Why? Because I say this in all due respect, Stuart, there are an awful lot of slugs out in this world today. And if you haven't watched the news or the newspaper, I mean, it's a mess out here. Yeah. We need good, honest, fun people who are polite, who are courteous, who know how to hang up with a goodbye, and don't be a jerk. Now, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay, number 5, your service plan. Back to here. Don't get me started, Stuart, because I'm really getting fired up here.
It's too late.
The 5-word service plan. Roll it. Treat your customers like dogs. Think about it. How do you treat your animals? How do you treat your pets, your kitten, your guinea pig, your rabbit? I don't care what it is. If it breathes, fish, I don't know if we're going to throw fish in there, but if you can pet it, it's treated special. Treat your customers like dogs. Why? Why do you do it? Because, and this is key, folks, your customer is my prospect. And being the nature of the beast, the salesperson, it's all in the hunt. We like the hunt. And if we can't get the girl, we want the girl. If we can't have the car, we want the car. If we can't have the customer, we want the customer. But once you have it, then you say, who's next? Take care of your customers first before you go out hunting for new customers. Treat your current people like you would your treasured pet, and they'll never leave you. I'm done.
Good. I like that. This one is real practical, Mike, and it drives me crazy when I do a conference and I'm handed business cards, whether it's within the travel industry or outside the industry, and on the business card, it's like a novel, and it's in 3-point type. And I'm not so proud to admit that at 53 going on 54 on Friday, I need readers. But let me tell you something, friends. If I have to struggle to read your business card, if I need what's the name of that telescope, Mike? That really big telescope begins with an H.
Oh man!
Yeah.
You're killing me. I should know that.
I bet you our viewers know it. It just slipped my mind.
It's already typed in. Watch your box. It's already in. I bet.
I don't need a telescope and a magnifying glass. I shouldn't to have to read your email address. So, friends, it's real simple. Less is more. I know we want to put all kinds of salesy things and fancy logos and fancy pictures. It's not necessary. A business card is for one purpose: to give your contact information so that when you guys leave, when you depart, when you're not seeing each other anymore, they know how to reach you. So prominently display your contact information only. And here's the other little tip. So this is little anecdotal stuff that drives me crazy. When somebody gives me a card and they say, hey, Stu, can you send me that free PDF you talked about in the keynote? I'm like, of course. And I go to write on the card. Guess what happens, Mike? The ink doesn't work. It doesn't work. I can't write on the card. Skip the gloss. You're wasting your money.
The gloss. Yeah, the gloss.
Okay.
Yep.
And this is my card. Yeah. Do I spend a little extra on it? Darn right I do, because you have an opportunity to impress somebody with your business card. Or it can be unremarkable. So what do I spend? An extra couple of pennies per card? It's a 2-folder. And guess what, Mike? When this is put in the fishbowl for the drawing, I got twice the chance of winning. But you want to leave some blank space here so they can write notes. What I do is I write my cell phone. I don't print my cell phone on it, but I make them feel special. I say, I'm going to write my cell phone right here, and I give them my card. And I always ask permission, may I give you my card? If they haven't asked me for it, I say, may I give you my card?
I like that.
There you go. Rock and roll.
I like that. Yeah. Now, before I get to this next point, I wanted to go back. I'm not suggesting this is right or wrong. I'm just going to offer what I find as a concern, issue, problem. I don't know what the word is, but when you send me an email and I want to get back to you and I go to your signature file and it's just your name and I have to go look for your phone number, I have a problem with that. I think that your signature file, if you want people to get in touch with you, if you want to pull them back to you, I think in your signature file, you should have your email address. Well, the email you can just return. I get that. But your phone number should be on there, I think. So if I want to call you, you're making it easy for me. And if I want to check you out, your website's there. I think a signature file should have those two things.
Yeah,
Just my opinion on that. I don't know if it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
I wrote a book a couple of years ago, about 1,000 years ago, called Become the Exception. And the first 4 chapters were dealing with the myths. The first myth in sales, I think, you're going into sales, you got to have a thick skin. Rejection comes with the territory. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. Sit down. This is going to hurt. Nobody rejects you. Don't flatter yourself. It's not about you. Here's one for you. Nobody cares about you. All right? There you go. Nobody cares. You're not being rejected. Get over that. They're rejecting the price, the time of year, the vacation. They have their own agenda. It's not about you. So you don't have a thick skin. You're here to help me. Help me. If I don't want your help, that's my problem, not your problem. Stress is inevitable. Stress comes when you pretend that the world works differently than it works. People who get on CNN and MSNBC, they're stressed because they're pretending that things are going to be different. They're not different. The world is working the way it's working right now. And I might add that it's amazing how well it does work. Stop pretending that the world works differently than it works. Go with the flow. Bring the stress down. You have to like people. Myth. Hang out in Newark Airport for a couple of days and then come back and tell me how much you like people. Whining, boring, not just Newark. I'm not picking on New Jersey, the whole world. Whining, boring, negative. What's in it for me? Life is unfair. Nothing's going right. Bump, bump, bump. Folks, you don't have to like people. You have to like the people you like. You don't have to do business with everybody, but the people you want as customers, I suggest you like them. If you don't like them, dump them. Send them to your competitor. You don't have to like everybody. You like who you like. Selling is a numbers game. Myth. True. You throw enough mud up against the wall, yeah, of course, some of it's going to stick. Selling has become a game of darts. Pick your target, pick your weapon, and throw it right where you want to throw it, right at that target. Not just darts up in the air and hope that some marbles fall in a cup. Focus, target, I'm done.
Good.
Stuart, my blood pressure is going up. I'm gonna have a heart attack here today.
Don't stay with us. Stay with us. Hey, Gina, thanks for your text. See, I give out my cell phone to everybody, and I'm off subject here, but let me tell you, I think you can too, friends. And I don't think it's going to be abused if you give out your cell phone to your clients. I give out my cell when I do keynotes for 100 or 3,000 people. I give out my cell phone, and I get 3 texts. But I just got a text from my friend Gina. And Gina said, hey, great, glad to be here. Thanks for doing this. So the handout's going to be available after? And the answer is yes. There you go. So I'm just saying, make yourself accessible. Be accessible.
Did Gina ask if Mike would slow down and speak English? No, but haven't understood a word the guy said.
So, hey, Scott just sent me a text too. See, so I'm multitasking here, but I want to make sure if there's any people have any issues or questions, you can text me. I'll give you.
Well, I don't give people my phone number or my text because I don't want to be bothered, so I don't give it out. I don't have time for people.
And speaking of, you sound like the Grinch. And speaking of being accessible, having a good business card and doing all these things here, let's talk about loyalty. Do you believe loyalty exists anymore? Years ago, the great Zig Ziglar was asked in an interview, is loyalty, and this is years ago, do you believe loyalty is a thing of the past? Is it old-fashioned? And Zig said, well, I believe it could be the new fashion. I believe loyalty is one of the most important things of life because loyalty transcends business. We want it in life now, don't we? So I'm here to tell you, friends, that loyalty does exist, but it doesn't come easy. It has to be earned. So I'm going to give you just a quick little bit from a book I wrote. This is the travel agent version of Are You Mine? Are you my travel agent? And at the end of the day, friends, what you need to know is this. if you want to get it from your customers, which I know you do, you gotta give it first. See, those customers want loyalty even more than you. Can they count on you? Will they call them back? Did you do a great job? Will you make sure that everything is done? And they don't want to feel like a one-night stand. In other words, when the booking is done, do you disappear off the face of the earth? So friends, don't close the sale. Think of the things that we close. A book, a window, a door. I'm going to close my mouth when I'm finished talking. So why would you close a sale? You want to keep that sale open. There's so many opportunities to follow up. And how do you do it? You give abundantly in terms of generosity and gratitude. You can't thank your clients enough. It's impossible. And in terms of generosity, why do you think Mike and I do these things? We do it because we believe in you. We love doing it. We love doing stuff together, but we love you too. And we know if we give enough free stuff, you'll come back. And some of you will buy this, so we can feed the family. And speaking of generosity, and you're saying, well, Stuart, what can we give out free? Can you give a free sample of a vacation? Well, not really. But what you can do is give out free information. You know, your consumers are out there surfing the internet and they think they know it all, but you and I both know they don't. So you can give them the right information. And just because you think they don't need to have a document that says the 5 best packing tips for a river cruise, I'll bet you they would love it. I'll bet you they would appreciate it because it's coming from you. You're the authority. So you can be generous of your time and you can be generous with stuff. Now, speaking of generous, if you saw in the promotions, I said I was going to make a big announcement, Mike. And no, your guess was that I'm pregnant and I'm not. Just
Wow.
Somebody said that. It might have been you. So here's the big announcement. And this is a big announcement. On Friday, which is my birthday, and I'm not shy to talk about my birthday. Yes, I'm going to make available over 60 of my business coaching podcasts absolutely free. It's on YouTube. And you guys know I have a group sales boot camp. So these are the previously recorded business coaching sessions. And I have decided, and they go back to 2015, that there's so much good stuff in there that the members have enjoyed because they participate live. I coach them live. And I'm like, this stuff is sitting here on a shelf and my members are using the old, but I got to get this information out. I want to help you. So all you need to do is either sign up on my list or go to my YouTube channel, which is Stuart Lloyd Cohen, and make sure you're there when I make them all go live. And you can watch them at your leisure or listen to them at your leisure. They're good stuff. In fact, Mike has been a guest on my coaching show many times too. Mike, take it away.
Wow. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. 4 business building requirements. And number 1 is that it's the service value. You think you provide value. We talk about value. Value is a buzzword today. It's very, very important. But who's to define value? Is it best for you to define it, or to perhaps ask your client, ask your prospect what they consider to be valuable? And the example I used to use is when I used to get up at 5 o'clock and get a cab to the Newark airport for a 6 o'clock flight, the driver would come. He was on time. I don't want to go to Newark airport. I don't want to go to Chicago. This is the last place in the world I want to do is leave my family at 5 in the morning. I go out into the cab and the guy starts talking like a mile a minute. I don't want him to talk to me. I want quiet. I just want to sit here. You want a newspaper? I don't want a newspaper. You want the radio? I don't want the radio. Just let me sit here. But he was trying to be friendly because he thought friendly was valuable. But in this case, it wasn't. Silence was valuable. In other times, I'm chatty. I want to chat. I want to talk. I want to talk about the New York Giants or the Jets or whoever was playing and get opinions and have fun. When I go to Vegas, I'm usually chatty with the cab drivers. 5 in the morning, I'm not. So don't guess what value is. Find out what value is. Number two is what you're offering to your clients. We talk about fees. If you're not charging a fee, maybe it's time, but are you earning your fee? Is what you're doing relevant? I'm not filling in the dots here or the blanks. I want you to ask you these questions in the PDF download. It's all there for you in review again, to ask yourself the question, what I'm doing, would you pay for it? Would you pay $50, $100, $200 for this, whatever it is you're giving the clients? Very important question. Your message credibility. Can you do what you say you're going to do? Salespeople are great at trying to, as Stuart said, close the sale by saying anything that the client wants to hear. Politicians are good to get votes. Anything you want to hear, that's what I'll say. But after they're elected, do they do what they're going to say? In many cases, no. Can you do what you say you can do? Question. And the last one is, are you doing it on a regular basis? Do you have the energy? Do you have the commitment to perform your business regularly? I call it sequentially, that you have a system to cultivate prospects, to cultivate clients. Do you have a system, a sequential system? Stuart, look it up. A sequential system that you can carry you through the whole year. Stuart, next.
Yeah, homogeneous, fulcrum, and sequential.
And sequential. Yep.
You're keeping me busy
Stuart,
here.
I learned those words this morning.
Did you? I'm very impressed. See, if it...
You got to use them. After you learn them, you got to use them. That's the key.
Well, the problem is if they have too many syllables. It's exhausting by the time I get the word out of my mouth. Put yourself in opportunity.
After our shows, we have to take a nap, for Christ's sake.
I know. It's exhausting. Put yourself in opportunity's way. I love this. I'm going to coin this, and hopefully they'll put it up on quoteland.com or whatever it is. But, you know, Mike had mentioned this too about getting up and getting out. Man, the opportunity is not going to come to us if we're just sitting here, you know, at our desk. We've got to leave and go mix and mingle with people. So I'm going to give you two things that I do have worked for me tremendously. And maybe you can commit to doing this for your business and keep in touch. Let me know what you do and tell me that it works. I have one awesome agent, Hans, if you don't mind me referencing you. You tell me that you set up a commitment for yourself, not to me, but to yourself, to get up, get out, and meet people, send notes, make phone calls. And you're doing it. And I see you're reaping the results of that. So friends, go to their events. Now, I don't know about your city. My guess is your city is probably as robust as mine here in Memphis. But there are, every day of the week, there's another meeting, especially a lunch meeting. And so I'll go to an HSMAI meeting. I'll go to a marketing meeting. I'll go and even I have to pay the price for lunch, right? Because it's if you're a member, it's usually free, or it's $10. If you're not a member, it's $20. I'll go pay the fee and I'll go to the event just to mix and mingle and meet people. If those are the people who I think need to meet me. Is there a speaking gig opportunity? Is there something in the travel industry? I got invited. I'm a member of the Convention and Visitors Bureau. They invited me to a holiday party. I went. And guess what? There were people who were there who needed to meet me. The president who saw me came over. The CMO. You never know who you're going to meet unless you put yourself in opportunity's way. The second point, now this is big. This is big. Would you make this commitment to yourself? And if you do, let me know after. Let me know after, and we can keep tabs on each other, because I do this. Have at least one 15-minute meeting every week. So these people that you meet, or if you read in the newspaper, there's somebody in town who's doing something cool, a business owner, whether it's a chef or the owner of the wine shop, doesn't matter. What I do is I pick up the phone. I don't send an email. I say, hey, Joe, congratulations. I hear your business just won one of the top places to work. This is true story. I'm doing this right now. I said, hey, Joe, you got 15 minutes for me? I want to hear your story. I want to learn how you do this. That's my purpose. I'm not selling you anything. 15 minutes. And I've been doing this for over a year. I can't tell you how many awesome people I've met. And guess what? I get business from it. It comes Because eventually they say, well, Stuart, I've told you about me. What do you do? And that 15-minute turns to a half hour and it becomes so rich and wonderful. Are you going to commit these two things? Let me know. You're up, Mike.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Hey, then while I think of it, Stuart, I just want to mention two items,
Yes, sir.
and they both have to do with my email address. It's mike@mikemarchev.com. Very simple. mike@mikemarchev.com. If the listeners, Stuart, on the line today want to find out any information or all the information on my March training cruise out of Fort Lauderdale on the Freedom of the Seas, just send me an email. I'll send you the material.
Okay.
Simple.
Good deal.
Number two, I have a private sales and marketing club called the Inner Circle, and tomorrow at 1:30 tomorrow, Wednesday, 1:30, we have our final 2017 meeting, similar to this, but it's a members only. It's a private website for the group of my team. However, if anyone's interested in eavesdropping on tomorrow's session, which is at 1:30 for an hour, it's a sales meeting, you're invited to do it. However, because it's a private membership only, I can't give it to them for free. So if you want to find out, send me an email, mike@mikemarchev.com. Your registration fee tomorrow for non-members would be $10 to eavesdrop, and then you decide if this club makes sense for you moving forward. So there's the offer. Same email, mike@mikemarchev.com. Write down cruise. I'll send you information. Write down Inner Circle, and I'll send you the link to register. It'll cost you $10 to eavesdrop tomorrow, and I think you'll enjoy it and hopefully become a member of the club along with others. Okay, so that being said, the 7-step business building process, where a lot of people go wrong, you, me, everybody else, is a hit or miss. We do something and then we stop. We market and then we become mechanics, and then we try to sell something and we become accountants. We hit or miss. And in 2018, what I want you to focus on is I want you to develop a systematic approach to keep the wheels turning for you. Now, you can do this through automation. I wrote automated small on purpose because I don't want to think that you're getting into the internet business, but you need to find a way, decide on a way, select a way to discover new opportunities, new projects, new chances to propose your service. Then you have to decide, based on your time constraint, your personality constraint, and your budget, on how can I attract those people? How can I get them into my world, if you will, so I can introduce myself to them and give them an opportunity, being visible, to get to know me. Then convert them over to a first-time buyer or first-time client, if you will. Then, after they become a client, I need the system to move one step further to the delivery system. That this is what I'm going to do for my clients, A, B, C, D, E, almost like a checklist. You become my client, you get the whole 9 yards. This is what you get. Then, is there room to grow, to enhance, either through referrals or to a higher product? Not selling up, always selling the right thing, not upselling, but selling what's right, but enhancing to the next level. 3-day cruise might become a 7-day cruise. And then through promotion is how can I blow these people away so they're out there working in my favor. Don't even think about taking a vacation without calling Stuart Cohen. I mean, if you don't even say river cruise without calling Stuart Cohen. That kind of promotion is what you're doing, and it becomes a system. If you don't think about these 7 points, they'll never happen. You have 2 or 3 weeks left in 2017 to formulate this whole plan, and then 2018, you have 12 months to implement the plan. And what you want to do 12 months from now, you want to be 20% larger, 30% more profitable, have 40% more clients. Whatever your goals are, you have 12 months to make it happen. And I'm here to tell you right now that everybody on this line, and I don't even know who you are, I can virtually guarantee you, if you decide, you can double your business next year because you're not $1 billion outfit. You're not a $200 million outfit. However large you are, you can reasonably double what you're doing this year if you want to. And there's the key, if you want to. Commitment's the word. That's it for me, Stuart.
Process. No, I like it a lot. Thank you, Mike. Hey, everybody, just want you to know we've got like 10 minutes left, and we will end on time. I've got one big point coming up. Mike's got one big point coming up, and then we're going to hang around, and I'm going to look at all of the stuff you guys have been typing in, your questions, your comments, your corrections, whatever you've been typing in, I promise we'll go through. And that's your opportunity to stay or to leave. We're going to hang around here, right, Mike? We're going to hang around as long as you want us to answer your questions. And even before I check,
ask the questions. Questions are fun. I hope we get a few.
I think we will. If you got to go, you got to go. That's all right. And in 24 hours from now, you're going to get a link so you can rewatch this. And I'm also going to make available, we're going to make available the PDF of this so you can download it and keep it, own it. You know, read it before you go to sleep every night. And when you wake up in the morning, you'll be doing it. The other thing is, here's my cell phone number. So remember I asked before, I asked a question. Gina texted me and she said, yes, I'm going to do it. Are you going to have 15-minute meetings, at least one a week? Are you going to go to other people's events, spend a couple of bucks, see who needs to meet you? Area code 631-877-9080. 631-877-9080. Operators are standing by. Okay. My last big point. Use this new elevator speech, and the number 9 refers to, I'm stealing a little bit from Mike here, the 9 words. Are you ready, friends? This is your new, I'm making this decision for you. This is your new elevator speech. And the reason why I'm giving you new elevator speech is because I've heard so many elevator speeches of travel professionals over the years. Sometimes I shiver because they either sound alike, they don't blow me away, they don't excite me. I don't care that you're in business 30 years, or some of the stuff that's shared with me isn't compelling enough. So if we're in an elevator starting on the 25th floor going down to the lobby and I say, what do? Are you arresting me? Or, well, not really. Are you convincing me that I need to say, hey, can I have your card? I need you. I have family who needs you. I have friends who need you. My parents need you. Or am I just saying, oh, and I look back at the door and wait for the doors to open? So here's your new elevator speech. Here we go. Say it with me. I am the greatest travel agent in the world. I am the greatest travel agent in the world. Here's another challenge. Would you say this the next time somebody says, let's say you're in the Kroger and you're squeezing cantaloupes and somebody says, wow, what do? Can you say I'm the greatest travel agent in the world? If you can't, if you're uncomfortable, it's time to go back and start from slide 1 and see what Mike and I have been talking about and others. So you're comfortable saying you're the best, you're the greatest. But imagine the look on their face when you say this. And you know what they're going to say? They're going to say, why? How? It's a shocker. And I'm going to end it on this note. You're probably sitting there saying, well, Stuart's telling me to do this, but what does he do? Would he do it? You're darn right I do. You can ask my wife. You can ask Kimberly. Mike, whenever someone says, what do? I say, I'm the greatest speaker in the world. A couple of weeks ago, we were in Nashville. We stayed at our first Airbnb. We met the couple. Awesome. They're music producers. That's a stretch. Lovely couple. Records all over and guitars all over. And so I asked what they did, and they explained and told me who their artists were. And they asked me, what do? And I said, I'm the greatest speaker in the world. You should have seen their faces. It's a conversation starter. So, will you use your new elevator speech? Mike.
Well, Stuart, in closing, it's a very, very interesting point, and it goes beyond travel. It goes through entrepreneurship entirely. Yeah. And that is a very, very key operative word in anything you do, any industry at any time. And that word is confidence. That it's amazing to me how a big league, major league second baseman who's making $1 million, second baseman, once upon a time, lost confidence in his arm, and he had trouble throwing it halfway to first base from the second base position. He lost confidence. Pro athletes lose confidence. Business people lose confidence. You don't charge a fee because of the word confidence. Last night I was talking to my brother, who is very, very good at what he does. He's the best. He's the greatest plumber, mechanic up here in upstate New York. And he said, Mike, I don't charge because I don't think I'm worth that. He is worth it. I know he's worth it.
Yeah.
When you fix someone's boiler, they know he's worth it, but he didn't think he was worth it. So therefore, it comes across. Confidence is very, very important, folks. You are good at what you do. If you're not the best, then you have some work to do. You have study to do, practice to do, failure to do. But you're not in business to hurt people. You're in business to help people make better travel-related decisions on the most important 2 weeks of their life, and that's their vacation or whatever, their reunions or whatever it is. You are very important. You know what you're doing, and you should get paid for what you're doing. Whatever shortcoming you have, here's my final message. You're not in this thing alone. Every industry is sharing what goes through your head right now. Am I in the right business? Am I doing it right? Am I good enough? All of these self-doubting questions, everybody out there is asking them, from plumbers to shoe shine guys to car salesmen. You're all in this together. The good news is you have selected an industry which happens to be, in my mind, the best industry there is. We chose the right industry. Now, we just have to fortify ourselves with seminars, workshops, reading, networking, friends, mentors, so we become really the best at what we do. You don't have to buy a plant. You don't have to hire people. You don't have to do anything. It's all there for you. The suppliers are there. The world is there. The market is there. You can double your business in the year 2018 once you decide you're good enough, honest enough, and you're committed to it. And I think that should be our challenge for all of us going forward. It's a new year, new page. Let's make it happen in the new year. And I hope today, Stuart and I, some of these tips have helped you. In the website down there, I think there's a pull down, Stuart. They can download the show notes. I don't know if they know how to do that, but they can download the show notes. It's right there. And if anybody wants to learn about the cruise, send me an email, mike@mikemarchev.com. Anybody wants to eavesdrop my inner circle tomorrow, send me an email, and I'll show you how to do that. Stuart, as always, my man, I hope I didn't talk too much. I enjoyed every second of it.
Yeah, this is great. And I want to add, too, that I should have put a slide in, shoulda, woulda, coulda, a happy Hanukkah. Tonight is the first night of Hanukkah. There you go. All right. Yeah.
I showed my tree. Oh, go back, Stuart. I just want to say, my wife is a Christmas lunatic.
Yeah.
And go back one slide.
There you go.
That's a 9-foot live tree cut up here in upstate New York. When we built the house, my wife built that room so it could handle a 12-foot Christmas tree. I mean, that's why we built the room. And there's a 9-footer right there.
It's beautiful.
And we have so much fun decorating it because we relive our 32 years of marriage. Barbara knows where every single ornament came from. I miss a few, but it's really a great thing. I wanted to share that, put my heart on my sleeve and show that's my family Christmas tree in 2017.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. All right, so here's what's going to happen, everybody. This is what makes, if you don't mind me saying, what makes us good at what we do. We finished on time. We thought we were going to go for 2 hours. I think we delivered what we wanted to, Mike. So here's what's happening, friends. Hang around, stick around, listen to me. We're going to leave this slide up so you can have our contact information. We've uploaded Mike's slide notes. If you want a copy of the PDF of this whole program, you can certainly email me or wait a day. In 1 day, you're all going to get a follow-up email. And those of you who are watching after the fact, you already know this because it's being recorded. And we'll send you the replay link. We're also going to put a downloadable PDF of every single slide so you can download it and own it. Okay. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to open up the question box and I'm going to see your comments and your questions. If you can hang around for as long as you can, hang out with us. We'll be here. If you've got a situation, a problem, a challenge, ask us. If you don't, listen to everyone else's problems. But we are very, very grateful that you spent this hour with us. Truly, we've had a great time putting this program together. We hope that there wasn't just one thing that resonated. We hope that there was 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9. Most of all, we hope it resonates and that you choose to stay connected to us so that we could be friends and help each other in 2018. Mike, any closing comments while I get ready to read the questions?
Nope, I'm ready to answer anything I can, Stuart.
All right, here we go. Let's see here. We still have good mornings from Marina and Lillian, and Denise says hello. Monique, Aline from Long Island. Hey, I was just there. My family lives there. Hello. Kate's in the house. Mimi, I'm gonna go through these and get the questions from Pennsylvania. Let's see here. Ceci, hey Ceci, Ceci's in the house. My friend Ceci, good to have you here. Lenore is thanking you for the pull down document. Mike, Sharon says Google has the information, but not the correct information, and many times no way to know it's the best info for that particular traveler. So Sharon, Mike is commenting here about that our customers. They go to the internet, they think they know it all, and she's saying that it's there, but it may not be right. And to that point, friends, and Sharon, listen to me. Some of you may be saying to your clients, don't go to the internet, don't waste your time, half of it is not true. Well, guess what the first thing is that they're going to do when they get home? They're going to go online because they think you're trying to hide something. Instead, tell them, go online. If you've got the time, the internet's got loads of links and things for you to read, but make me one promise, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. What's that? If you see anything that's kind of weird, that's kind of odd, will you send me the link? Will you promise to send me the link? Well, sure. Because I am your truth detector. So travel agents take on a new role. You're the truth detector because you're there confident, to Mike's point, that if there's any kind of nonsense online, you'll tell them if it's true or not. Kate says...
There's another point, Stuart, before you go on.
Yep.
That and the internet is famous. I mean, every picture you see on the internet is Photoshop. I mean, it looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, what you see on websites are great looking pictures, not necessarily what you're going to see when you go to the property. And you, as a travel agent who's been there, you know that. You say that's exactly the way it looks, or that's not the way it looks.
Right.
My sister was going to buy a house off the internet, and I went to look at it. The picture of the house looked beautiful in Cherry Valley, New York.
Right.
Next, abutting the driveway was a working cow farm.
Oh.
They didn't show that in the picture, but I mean, not down the road, abutting the driveway was the dirty, filthy farm equipment.
Wow.
That they didn't put on the, I mean, it's just glaring. So yes, I agree with you 100%. They think they can get everything from the internet, but you're the pro. Absolutely.
Yeah. Indeed. Kate says, hey, thanks for your comment. Kate, love the naked noun concept. You bet. Jeff says, can I get the webinar link? I lost connection. No problem. I got your email address, Jeff. It'll be coming to you. Kim says, I need an elf hat. I do. I had a hat, a blue. I have a blue, what we call a Hanukkah Harry hat, and I can't find the darn hat. I'm so sorry. Let's see. What are e-leads? Oh my goodness. You told me how to pronounce your name already. Nadish, right? Nadish? Travel Agent Hacks. So e-leads are if somebody comes to your website and most of you probably have a contact us. You know, when you go on the internet and you want information from the company, you want to reach them, you don't feel like picking up the phone, you fill out a little form. Hopefully your form is very, very, very short. Because nobody's going to fill out a long form and reveal all their inner secrets. So that's that lead when you wake up in the morning, you're like, hey, somebody was on my website and they need help. They want me to call them back. They've asked me a question. Is this ship better than this ship? Hey, what's doing in St. Thomas? Are the hotels rebuilt yet? Can you help me? That's an e-lead, an electronic lead. And of course, it could come in the form of a phone call. Somebody's going to leave a voicemail message for you. But these days, people don't use the phone anymore, do they? I hope that helped, Nadish. Carrie said, as a tight-knit community in the mountains, what do you suggest to get to them? I do have business cards on bulletin boards. Mike, you want to take that? As a tight-knit community in the mountains, what do you suggest to get to them? She has a business card on the bulletin board, but anything else that comes to mind real quick?
Well, one of the glaring opportunities I see, especially up in the mountains, or they're away from people, they're away from a lot of action. You as a travel professional could offer a Tuesday night travel show on a telephone. It's called a teleconference. And on free, look this up, just check it out on the internet, freeconferencecall.com, www.freeconferencecall.com. They will give you a phone number. It's a bridge line, and a bridge line allows more than one person, just like we're doing here, to call in and listen. You as a isolated travel professional could say every Tuesday night, we're going to have a different hot trend topic. We're going to talk about river cruising next Tuesday. And if you'd like to listen in, here's the phone number. So the people then call in a number. They don't have to talk. They just eavesdrop in the bushes. They listen. And you interview somebody perhaps who just came back from the Danube River. And then you open up the lines to questions, just like Stuart and I are doing right now. You as independent travel professionals can do this free of charge by going to, and there's a lot of different bridge lines, but Free Conference Call is the one that comes to mind. And every Tuesday night, you can open up the lines, and just like Stuart and I are doing, are there any questions? In addition to river, Disney, Alaska, whatever you want, I'm on the line. If I don't have the answer, I'll get back to you. But you're pulling people in to become educated in your topic. That's one particular idea, Stuart.
Yeah, and the other thing I want to say is that I think it's great that you want to stay local. You want to get the business from the local people. So clearly, and to Mike's point too, you need to become locally the celebrity authority. My good friend Terry Murphy, who's a business coach, a professional speaker who lives here in Memphis, her phrase is become the celebrity authority. So everyone in that whole area knows who you're going to call? Carrie. Okay. And if not, then if you're going to have a niche, maybe it's groups, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe you want to become an Alaska expert, then you don't keep it local. You can still do the phone call thing like Mike is suggesting, but it could be nationwide because you become the Alaska expert. So if you want to become the local expert, you have to be the celebrity authority. So everyone comes to you. And to Mike's point, you got to deliver the goods. You can't just say it. You got to do it. You got to give them a taste of what you do. Yeah.
The fastest way, the quickest first step of becoming a celebrity is do people who write about their topic presumably know about their topic, presumably. Right. But I strongly recommend that you draft, and I say draft, an article on your specialty, something you know about, do some research, get a couple of points, couple of bullets, write an article, and here's how you write an article. You're going to say, I'm not an artist, I can't write, Mike, I don't know how to write, I left high school 1,000 years ago. Here's what you can do. Everyone on the line today, and I challenge you for 2018 to do this. It's a great exercise and it'll help you forever. Write a short, lousy article. You can do that. Short and lousy. You can do that. Once you, what's short? Here's short. I think you should go to Bermuda by Mike Marchev. Pretty short. And I might add, pretty lousy. Once you write your short, lousy article, and as the book says here, it's the ugly first draft. Get the ugly first draft down in your words, then you make it a little better by editing it. Then you make it a little longer. And before you know it, you have a 350-word, 400-word article that's worth reading. Your name, your picture, it's your first step to becoming a celebrity status on that topic.
I love it.
You're going to like it so much. It's so easy. Offer it to your local newspaper, offer it to your corporate magazines or e-zines, and that's how you do it.
Yep. Can't be done. Hey, I got a text here, and it said Airbnb with a question mark. Oh, you're killing me. But yes, I will use that elevator speech. So I'm not sure exactly who sent it, but hey, listen, we can't. Airbnb is here. Uber is here. Lyft is here. Folks, we can't fight the trends, the fad, and these aren't not going to be fads. This is the ever-changing travel industry, travel and hospitality that we're in. So if you have clients who insist on Airbnb, well, maybe you can be involved in that process and you take care of booking it all and you put a markup on it. Get creative here. You don't always have to book suppliers who pay a commission. Why be a commission hostage? Go add stuff in. That's why you supersize stuff. So if you're just gonna hate the Airbnb thing because it's a threat to your business, reverse, baby, reverse, embrace it, love it, because it ain't gonna be changing. All right, let's go here now, Mike. Just so you know, we've had probably 100 people fill in the blank when I said what the name of that darn telescope was, and it's Hubble. So
Hubble.
Thank you.
Hubble. That's Hubble. That's right.
Buffy, Angie, Lena. Lena's here. Hello, Lena. Paige, Michelle, Anna, Hans, Angie, Nadij, Kate, Jessica, Denise, Jeff, Lori, Lillian, Sharon. Oh, wait. It's not a telescope. It's not a telescope. I thought it was a telescope, Sharon. It just, tell me. Oh, boy. Then I really have a lot to learn. Joe and Martha and Vicky and Alfreda, Sharon. Okay, here we go. Thanks for correcting us. What?
Stuart, I'll tell you how the world works.
What?
In tomorrow's crossword puzzles,
yeah,
that question is going to be in it.
It will.
There will be. I mean, that's it. Hubble will be in tomorrow. This week, we're going to see it again. That's how it works.
Yep. That's right. Sharon says, hey, Mike, great point about stress. The world works as it does. Let's see. Tina says, so many pearls of wisdom. Thanks, Tina. You're very welcome. Clavia's here. Hey, welcome. Clavia says, I don't like people, which is what you said. Lenore says, hey, Mike, some people check their brains with the luggage. I like that. That's a good one. So they pack their brains in the luggage, so when they get to the airport and they get on the airplane, they're not thinking. Michelle says, is the handout you just mentioned from Gina's text the one that's attached?
Stuart, back up. Very important point there on the luggage and the brains thing.
Right.
We assume as adults that our peers, other adults, are semi-squared away. And in the travel business, your job, one of your jobs, I think, the value you bring is a kind of a center fielder, is a checklist extraordinaire. Mm-hmm. And you're embarrassed to tell me, a 68-year-old man, Mike, don't forget to pack your shoes. You're embarrassed to tell me that. And yet I've traveled without shoes. Don't forget to bring your passport. Yeah. And I've traveled without my passport. I mean, I know executives from Merck, Sharp, and Dome who got to Japan to go to a wedding and they didn't have their shoes or a tuxedo that they thought that they packed. Mm-hmm. My point is this: you're the center fielder. Don't be scared. Don't be frightened. You're not embarrassing me. You're not insulting me. Mike, did you bring enough shoes? Did you bring enough socks? Don't be scared to do that. Now, one way to do that is to say, let me send you my checklist. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to say it, but you're sending me a checklist. But we do pack our brains in our suitcase. That's a fact. Mm-hmm. And we need you to help us once we close the suitcase. Yeah. It's a great point. And don't be embarrassed to don't be silly. You're not being silly, Mike. Right. If you packed your passport, you packed it. Good. I just want to make sure you did. Right. Don't lock your keys in the car. I tell myself that, Mike, whatever you do, don't lock your keys in the car. That's not a good thing to do.
No. Michelle has a question. The handout that was mentioned is the one that's attached. So the handouts that's there, friends, under handouts, right there on your screen in your dashboard, that's Mike's speaker's notes from this program. So you can download that. And if you can't get it there, just send Mike an email and he'll send it right on over to you. What you don't have access to yet will be a copy of these slides. We're going to save this as a downloadable PDF so you can download it and own it, and that'll be coming tomorrow. Scott says, hey, his birthday's in December as well, the 20th. Cool. Mimi says, looking forward to Friday, Stuart. Happy birthday and thanks for the information giveaway. What's your YouTube channel URL? Thank you for your wishes, Mimi. My YouTube channel is Stuart Lloyd Cohen. And if you can't find it, then just go to my website and I have a little button. Click YouTube. It'll bring you right to it and you could subscribe. So you'll always know when I add new stuff. Lori's here. I made a mistake. I purchased a great insurance policy instead of Holland America CFAR. Cancel for any reason. The client doesn't want to go. I can't get her to call me. Uh-oh. So basically purchased a different insurance policy and it's not the cancel for any reason. And this is challenging. So, wow, Lori, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if Mike has anything for you other than just keep trying to call, have those conversations, and protect yourself. Make sure that you in no way could be liable, that you're not at risk, that you had communicated all the information about that insurance policy so the client knows that you don't set the policy, you only collect the money for it, and that they can certainly call the insurance company, that's what they're there for too, and get the information. So if they don't believe you, let's say they've given you a hard time, they can call. The other thing is that, Lori, you know, we talked about how crazy life is. Maybe something really happened, something traumatic, something tough, something difficult, and they're not doing this by choice. Something in life has occurred that's prohibiting them from going away. Let's always give people the benefit of the doubt. We're not all bad people. So maybe they need some time, they need some space, a little love, a little love. Sometimes when we judge too quick, and I'm speaking to myself, after we judge too quick, and I do this sometimes, I'm like, damn, I'm sorry that those thoughts had gone through my head. Mira said 1:30 p.m. Central. What's the time? Oh, Mike, your program tomorrow. What time is your program?
Eastern.
Mira, 1:30 Eastern. Naomi says, Mike, can you repeat your email? It's right up here, mike@mikemarchev.com. Naomi, I hope you got it. Lori says, question, hey, Stuart, I made a mistake. Oh, no, Lori, that was your Holland America question. I hope we helped you a little bit. Naomi, how can I join your group boot camp? Just go to that website there, stuartloydcohen.com/bootcamp. Let's get rolling, baby. And I only want to take your money if you're committed. If you're quit, if you're tired of dabbling and babbling and you want to get serious, come on and join. I will roll out the red carpet and welcome you in, and I'm here to answer any questions you have. Michelle says, will the recording be sent tomorrow include the Q&A? I have a meeting, so I really should go after the session is over, but smarter people than me usually have great questions. I like Michelle. The answer is yes, Mike, right? We'll leave the Q&A on the recording. Yeah?
Sure.
All right. Alfreda says, I'll use it because I like to shock people to get the conversation started. Love it. Thanks. Alfreda is commenting about your new elevator speech. I'm the greatest travel agent in the world. Stephanie says, any books you recommend for confidence? It's so easy to slip into the imposter syndrome thinking. Any books come to mind quick, Mike, on confidence? I'm going to take a look at my book rack here. Oh, let me see here. You know what's great? Good to Great. Good to Great is a good book. Even though they talk about big companies, it helps you to focus better. The other book I want to recommend to you is Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Feel the Fear, Do It Anyway, Dr. Susan Jeffers. Mike, do you got a book?
You know, I don't. I'm waffling on this because I think my answer is that is to fail more. It's to get out of your comfort zone and stick and go do stuff. Go just jump out of the plane. Don't read a book about parachuting. Just jump out of the plane, and you're going to find out that either you need to know more, which then you go learn more. But to me, the fact, when you get an A on an exam, you don't learn anything because you just know what you already know. But when you fail an exam, now you know what you don't know. So you go study that, and then you do know it, and you're better off as a result of that exam. An A doesn't get you anywhere. A failure gets you to the next step. And I think that confidence is something that you have to experience yourself. And then when somebody in your world says something nice about you, don't say, shucks, it was nothing. It was something. You say thank you, and then you remember that. If your client says something nice, you tell them, can you put that down on paper? Because I'd love to use that as a testimonial. Now, Stuart, and this is a great point, I just copied 110 testimonial letters and put it in a book, and I go back and read that and say, hey, Mike, maybe you do know what you're doing. Look at these people said thank you. So confidence is something that you have to build yourself. I guarantee you one thing, you're better than you think you are.
Yes.
Your self-talk is hurting you. Most of us talk to ourselves all day long, and most of it is negative stuff. Start being kind to yourself. You're good. And if you're not good, get good. If you haven't taken a class, take a class. Study a book, any book. I don't care what book. There's 1,000 books. Go to Barnes and Noble. But any book is you're going to learn something, and piece by piece, you're going to become more confident. That's my long-winded answer.
Yeah, well, Stephanie, I just want to say that I personally, and Mike knows this because Mike gets the call when I'm not feeling confident. I can do a program. I'm not going to give the example. I can do a program, and 9 out of 10 people will say excellent, superb, terrific, and one person could say it was okay. And I focus on the one person who said it was just okay, right? And I start weeping and crying and moping, and I'm not worthy, I'm not good. We all suffer from this, Stephanie. I'm not going to say we because maybe there's somebody out there who doesn't, but I do. And I need people like Mike and my wife and others who I surround myself with, positive people, to say, move on. It's okay. Can you learn from it? Okay, what can you learn from it? But look at the 9 people who love what you did. And to Mike's point, you know more than you're giving yourself credit for. The fact that you're here today is awesome. Hans,
and if you're not hanging, hey Stuart, and if you're not hanging out, it's my old saying: is the whole world is filled 7 billion people. You can cut it into 2. There's 2 types of people that you're going to come in contact with, Stephanie. Just 2. People you can help and people you can't help. I'll go one step further. People who appreciate you and people who don't appreciate you.
Right.
And for you to spend 10 seconds, 1 millisecond on the people on the wrong side of that line, you're making a bad mistake. Hang out with people who appreciate you. If you have any duds, if your friends are saying, why'd you get into that business? Move away, get away. Because misery loves company. And people, there's a lot of bummers out there, and they're just dying to bring you down to their level. Don't go down to that level.
That's right.
You're in business to help people, period. Nothing bad about that. You're going to get better at it as time goes on. And we all are. I'm 68. I read 5 books a month. I'm still trying to learn, still trying to figure out the magic formula. And I will until they put me in a box.
Hans says, a great session. Thank you, Mike and Stuart. You guys are the best. Thank you, Hans, for your kind words. Naomi says, do you think as a travel agent it's important to focus on specialty or a niche? And the answer is yes. I think it's not only important, it's critical.
It's imperative.
Hands down. I've been on the corporate side in this business for 25 years, on my own for 10. I'm telling you right now, I see the most successful travel businesses. The most successful travel business are the ones who declare a niche. And it's scary at first, but once you do it, you'll see it'll work. People will seek you out. Nancy says,
but an asterisk, Stuart, an asterisk is that doesn't mean you don't have to say no to opportunities outside your niche. You just are the specialist in your niche. And if I'm a wallpaper specialist, can I help somebody paint? Yeah, if I have the time and if I want to, I can help you paint. I do nothing but wallpaper. Well, if you're busy enough, you can do that. But you still can drift away, but you still get known as the specialist in 1 or 2 particular areas.
Yep. Beautiful. Nancy says, your elevator speech is awesome. I'm sharing that with my staff today, and we'll work on the follow-up question to have clear, specific answers. Mike's follow-up to help you make the best decision on the most important week or two of the year of your vacation is worth the price of admission. My motto is from the Bible, pursue excellence. That was beautiful, Nancy. Nancy Mize, thanks for sharing that.
Hey, Nancy Mize is on the line. My good friend Nancy from Lufkin, Texas. I know.
Cool.
Biggest Astro fan in the whole world.
Naomi says, with so much information and new locations coming up, how can you learn it all, or should you even try? And, this came up a lot when they were building so many ships, and agents would say, I can't sell it unless I've seen it. Well, it's impossible to see all the ships. It's impossible to see all the destination hotels. So my answer, quick there, because we've got a lot of questions to go through, which is really cool, is that there's no way you can visit it all. And if you're a niche, that will eliminate, easy for me to say, 90% of the stuff that you need to know, Naomi. So if you specialize, if you niche, you don't need to know the other 90%, but that 10%, you become the expert. You know more than anybody. And that's how you can learn it. That's how you become the best. That's why people seek you out, because you know significantly more. As Don Hudson, National Speaker Association Hall of Famer, said to me at a recent lunch, he said, Stuart, it's better to be an inch wide and a mile deep than a mile wide and an inch deep. Ooh. Kate says, yes, thanks, guys. Here's to a fabulous new year. Alfreda says, Stuart, what time do we go to YouTube to get the podcast? That's going to happen sometime on Friday, Alfreda. And if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you will get an alert saying, hey, Stuart's made a new, made the video live. So it's sometime on Friday. I don't know what time it's going to be. It's a big project for me, so I don't know what time it's going to get done. Or give me your email address. I'll send you an email. Buffy says, woohoo, New York in the house. New York is here. All right, Buffy. John says, happy Hanukkah. Thank you, John. The same to you. Pam says, hey, guys, what local event in your lives has been the best for meeting new clients? That's a really big question. Mike, you want to just shoot out first, and it comes to mind an event, a local event that has been good to you?
Well, I remember like the answer to me, it's trade shows. And the local event to me was a trade show in Fort Lauderdale. Mm-hmm. I was fixing my computer. I was going to go down to, I think it was Cruise 360. Mm-hmm. And my computer broke that morning. And I said, I can't go down to the trade show because I've got to fix this computer. So I'm lying under my desk saying, Mike, what would you tell travel agents? And I'd say, the computer can wait. Get up, take a shower, get dressed, get in the car, schlep on down to Fort Lauderdale, buy your way in, go to the trade show. Mm-hmm. So that's what I did. Mm-hmm. I rekindled 5 old relationships, booked a speaking gig with Asta. I mean, nothing but good came from me getting out from under that desk. Mm-hmm. And traveling, the comfort of your office is cozy, it's comfortable. Mm-hmm. That's where the coffee is. That's where the dog is lying down. Mm-hmm. You got to get up, you got to get out, and you got to go do something. Mm-hmm. And I don't care, go to the grocery store, go to the library, mm-hmm. talk to somebody at the library, just get out. Mm-hmm. And that's where the action is. Go, why does, they say that the guy who robbed the banks, they say, why do you rob banks? He says, because that's where the money is. Well, you want to go out where the people are. That's all. I don't care where you go. Go anywhere.
Yep. Bill says, Stuart and Mike, thanks for the session and taking time with us today. Wishing you a great holiday season, the best in 18. Thank you, Bill. Very same to you. Anna says, thanks for this. It'll help me with my 2018 business plan. Anna, that is music to our ears. I can say that on behalf of Mike as well. Mira says, you guys are great. Absolutely loved what I've heard and took notes. All pretty sensible. Cool. That's just it. We're not reinventing the wheel here. We're just sort of giving you a fresh perspective on stuff. Sometimes we need to hear that. And as Mike likes to say, sometimes we all need a whack in the head with a 2x4 in a loving, gentle way, including me and Mike. Sharon says, sorry, I'm not able to open the slide notes you referred to, but it's no link. No problem, Sharon. We'll make sure you get that. If you want to send an email to Mike he'll send that right to you, or wait for the follow-up email. Piece of cake. Alicia says, can you lead a group to a place you haven't been to? I'm worried about not filling a group if I haven't been there, like on a river cruise. Alicia, I think this is the biggest opportunity of all to say, hey guys, this is my first time. I'm doing enormous amounts of research. Who else's first time is it? You. Great. Come on, let's go. I can't wait. Let's all experience for the first time. So you can be sure, friends and family, I'm going to do all the research to make sure you don't miss anything, because guess what? It's my first time going, and I don't want to miss a thing either. So Alicia, you can leverage it, right, Mike, that this is your first time. Don't be shy. Tell them that's why you're so excited to go. It's not like you're going back a second, third time. You're bored. You're terribly excited to go. Come with me. Let's experience for the first time together. Mike?
Was that destination river cruise or something else, Stuart?
She said here, for example, I've never been on a river cruise, so that might have been what she was referring to.
Well, remember your BDMs are there to help you. Whatever company you work with. Mm-hmm. I go on record to salute AMA Waterways because they're my go-to river cruise, but any of them, they get the BDMs. Mm-hmm. And you might say, I've talked to 5 people who have been on that Danube cruise, and I haven't heard anything but rave reviews. So you don't have to exactly experience it. Connect them to their peers. Mm-hmm. And I'll ask Mr. and Mrs. Jones if they'll take your call. If you have any questions, you can talk to them. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you can kind of stay in the relationship loop there, but don't forget your BDMs.
And one other thing is, Alicia, you be bold and you list the top 10 reasons why you want to go on that Danube River cruise. Personally. And I guarantee you, everyone who sees that is going to ascribe to the same 10 and ask them, why would you want to go? Maybe there's a few more that you hadn't thought of, or maybe you're not a foodie, but they are. So they want to experience more food from that local region. So be bold and say, here's why I picked it. Suzette says
that woman, Stuart, yep. Wait a minute. The woman who just asked that question,
right,
about I've never been on a river cruise.
Yep.
Just this morning, I sent a link from Ralph Grizzle, who's the avid cruiser, to Danny Pinchot. Mm-hmm. And if that woman you're talking to sends me an email and says, Mike, send me the Ralph article, I'll send her the link because it's a great article on the difference between the Danube and the Rhine and the Seine and the Rhone and the Douro. Mm-hmm. And ask the woman there to send me Alicia an email asking for that link, and I'll send her the link.
Okay. You got that, Alicia? Cool. Suzette says, thank you. It was great and informative. You are welcome, Suzette. Vera says, Merry Christmas to you and your families. Thank you for your support. You are welcome, Vera. Stephanie says, how do you decide which groups to host and which to send on their own? Stephanie, I would say err on the side of going, because if you send a group on their own, something will go wrong and they will, I don't want to say this word, curse you, but they will be angry that you're not there to fix it. You're going to hear about it when they get home. They're going to be unhappy. So here's my rule for escorting a group. Number one, of course, if it's a larger group, just by default, the more people you have, the more complex it gets. Something's going to go wrong with somebody or something. The second rule is I don't care how small or how big the group is. If it's a complex group in terms of needs, if they have meetings, even if they have one party or one meeting, and more than likely they're going to have multiple needs, things will go wrong. It's your job to be there to keep, listen to me carefully, Stephanie, a step ahead and behind the scenes. A step ahead and behind the scenes to make sure, because you want that group leader and the executives in the family or whatever to make sure they have a good time so they don't take on the burden of worrying and being stressful. Talk about fulfilling your role as reducing stress and risk, adding value and convenience. That's golden. Joe says,
the marketing side, Stuart, the marketing side is that your contact was the group leader, but by attending the group, depending on how big it is, you now have 5, 10, 15, 20 new prospects for FTs or future travel down the road.
That's right. Absolutely. Joe says, how do you get the show notes? Joe, as soon as we're done, I'm going to save that as a PDF, and that's going to come tomorrow. When you get the follow-up link tomorrow, automatically, through GoToWebinar from us, it'll have a link to take you to the page so you can download it. We wait to the last second to convert this to a PDF because we both make changes at the last second. Eileen says, thank you for today. Great info. You bet, Eileen. It's our pleasure. Mimi says, you are the greatest speaker, Stuart. Well, thank you very much. Mike, I'm calling it like I see it here. You know.
I'm your bag man.
Right. Michelle says, thanks, guys. Confidence is key. It's a big challenge for me, but I know it's key. So thanks for the reminder. I've got to run for an appointment. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah to each of you. Thank you. Naomi says, you guys are amazing. Thank you for this informative webinar. You bet. Joe says, in case you need a run, in case I got the runs? Oh, in case you need to run. I need to run. Thanks and happy holidays to both of you. Thank you, Joe. Leslie says, thanks, Mike and Stuart. Barbara says, I don't. And she must have answered a question, and I don't remember what the question was, but now we know Barbara does not. I don't know what the question was.
I never did.
Yolanda says, Stuart, we're expanding our corporate division and going after more mid-sized companies. Is there a place to find out the updated fee structure for corporate? That's a great question, Yolanda. I don't know, but I'm going to take your question offline, and I'll see if I have any friends who know. And we can post it on Facebook. I get back to that. I don't know. Anybody on the line knows that, let me know, and we'll tell Yolanda. Let's help each other. Barbara says, I can't go to the properties most of the time because of cost. How do you get the property to give you a free couple of days to visit? I like Europe, if that's possible. Well, number one, you got to ask for it. But if you're going to ask for it, because a lot of these companies offer fam trips naturally, you have to demonstrate that you aren't just going for a freebie, that you want to go because you want to make this destination or that supplier a preferred supplier. Having been on the supplier side, if I got a call from an agent, from you, Barbara, and you said, hey, Stuart, I want to make your cruise line my preferred supplier, and I would love to have an experience. Do you have anything for me so I can experience with my spouse or with my family? I'd be more inclined to invite you, to hook you up, to help you out, if I knew I was going to get something in return. That makes sense?
Sharon, Stuart, another point there is to write a letter, a well thought out letter, a detailed letter explaining who you are, what you want to achieve. Chances are the person either will not answer the letter or will come back with a knee-jerk no. 50% of salespeople, actually 75% of salespeople will go away and say, I gave it a good shot. You plan in your approach, if you really want to go over there, you plan in your campaign 3 or 4 letters in sequence. And by the 4th letter, the sales manager, which not all are squared away people, I might add, will say, hey, here's the real deal. She's coming back once, twice, 3 and 4 times. She's separating herself from 40,000 other wannabes. Maybe this woman's the real deal. Stuart, you know, I got on AMA Waterways with a letter like that. I mean, letters work, folks. No one writes them. No one sends them. If they do 1, they don't do 4. It's a strategy that you should take to the bank because it'll work.
And it's about influence too. If you convince me, if I'm the supplier, or if you convince your supplier that you are a good influencer and you will influence people to book their product, like Mike did with AMA, like I do with other vendors as well, and you deliver, you'll get what you ask for. Sharon says, I'm a small town gal, now live in the city. I built a very successful agency by getting involved in the community. I found rural people are different than city people. They will socialize with you, and then upon leaving, they make a quiet request on their way out the door. Lots of locals have money. Don't assume dressing badly means they don't clean up for a luxury cruise. P.S. Privacy means everything to these people. Keep their secrets. Sharon, those are some wonderful nuggets about, small town, small community, privacy. What you're saying is, don't judge your book by its cover. They may have the cash to do these things. Never underestimate that somebody has a different definition of luxury than you and are willing to spend 10 times as much as you. Okay, you never know. And keep it private, especially in a small town. Thank you, Sharon, for sharing. Carrie said that she's traveling to be a travel journalist. That's awesome, Carrie. Good luck. Sharon says, I hope the replay shows answers to these great questions. And the answer is yes. We're going to keep them in. Lori says rentals combined gives 10%. So I guess this goes back, Mike, to the Airbnb thing. If they don't pay commission, apparently Lori says here rentals combined. So I assume that's rentalscombined.com gives 10%. Never heard of it. Kyle says hello. Hola. Julianne says I've heard about Concur. It's a site that travel agents can use for booking Airbnbs. Anyone use it? Concur. CONCUR. I don't know. Let's get a conversation going about that, guys and gals. Diane says, thanks for the wisdom. You're welcome, Diane. Mysoon, did I pronounce your name right? I'm really bad at pronouncing names, so forgive me if I didn't get it right, Mysoon. Good information. Thank you. You're welcome. Kim says, some Airbnbs are great. I had a great experience, but you have to check before you click. I had a client use HomeAway, which turned out to be nothing but a glorified hostel. It was not a good experience. I hear you. Vicky says, just to be clear, it's a telescope. It is a telescope. The Hubble Space Telescope. It's a space telescope that was launched into low Earth orbit in 1990 and remains in operation. You're awesome, Vicky. Thank you for clarifying that. Phil and Jeanette. Thank you, Mike and Stuart. Your webinar was recommended by a fellow agent. Have a wonderful holiday season, Jeanette and Phil. That's very sweet. Wendy says, thanks for the notes. You bet. Diane says, hope they have their own insurance coverage. Some good E&O. Diane is referring, Mike, back to that issue that somebody didn't buy the CFR, cancer for any reason, and you're hoping that the agent has good E&O. I hear you, errors and omissions. Barbara says, I'm an independent agent. I know that I need E&O. Can you suggest a company? I cannot offhand. You know what, to go for that is one of the online blogs. I'm not sure it would be Travel Agent Hacks for that, or other agents, or if you were the consortium, see who they have as a preferred. Maybe that's your best bet, or with I don't know offhand. Stephanie says, thank you. Scott says, call me. I'll boost your confidence. And just that line alone is great. Diane said, okay, I've been in the business for 30 years. I do everything. How to change to a niche. I'm already the best travel agent ever. Thoughts? All right, Mike, give me 30 seconds on how Diane can niche, but she's already...
I think the only answer is what do you like best in those 30 years? Something must have risen to the top. You prefer one area or venue or clientele or something. You must enjoy working with somebody better than the others.
Yeah.
After 30 years, you certainly don't want to shoot yourself in the foot and destroy any relationships you have. Mm-hmm. It sounds like you have something good going for you. So maybe in this case, you don't want to rock the boat. Mm-hmm. But if you did, go with what you enjoy doing, or to keep you motivated, mm-hmm. what would you like to learn? Mm-hmm. Now, the key point is what you like and what people will also like may be two different things. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you enjoy Boise, Idaho, mm-hmm. maybe that's not a big enough market. Mm-hmm. So you have to decide the market's got to be big enough, but I would go with my passion, if that's the right word, on what floats my boat, and then see if there's enough people to support it. Yep. That's my answer, Steve.
Hey, listen, opposite perspective on this. It's one thing to think about what you love doing, who you love doing business with, blah, blah, blah. What if you took the other approach, which is, what do you not like? What do you not look forward to doing? Who do you not look forward to working with? What supplier do you not look forward to booking with? Take it from a negative perspective, I hate to say it, so you could sort of trim from the bottom. You know what I mean? Get rid of the low-hanging fruit, the stuff that to you is stressful, that's a pain in the butt, you're not making enough money on. Trim from the bottom, trim up, so you end up with the best stuff at the top. Diane says, I do amazing culinary travel. I'm excellent with Europe. Nobody does an FIT like me. That's Diane. I love it, Diane. Diane Bean says it. How's that, Mike, for somebody with confidence? I do amazing culinary. I don't know if it's culinary or culinary. In any case, she said.
Well, what I would do there is I'd write letters to the people who run the cooking shows on television and introduce yourself to them. And for fun, I'd introduce myself to Ellen DeGeneres and see if you can get on her show, because you're the best in the business and who knows what's going to happen. But until you write that letter, you don't know.
Yep. Anna says, I may have missed this part when I was called away for a minute, but how would you respond to the funny look you'd get if you say, I'm the greatest travel agent in the world, especially if you don't feel it yet? Smiley face. So, Anna, what I would say to that is that, how do you respond to that? You say it with confidence and a big old smile. And you want to put your hands on your hips, go right ahead. But I would say just say it with a big smile. I would venture to guess, Mike, and you tell me, that that person who hears that, if they have any interest at all, they're going to ask the next question. They're going to say, why?
Yeah.
How? How do you do
Yeah,
it?
why
What do
you
you
say
do?
that?
And
Yeah.
here's the thing, to Mike's earlier point, that there's two kind of people in the world, those you can help, those you can't. Anna, if they don't ask another question, if they let it hang out there, that's okay too. You made a statement. They may not call you for a week or two or a month or a year later, but you made a very powerful statement. And if they don't prompt you to ask more, don't say anything more. Right, Mike? Just let it marinate out there, and they'll come back to you when they need you.
You know, Stuart and I didn't, you know, that particular slide, I didn't know that was coming up. And we have you know, sometimes we don't always agree with the way we go to business and approach, but I would handle it a slightly different way without contradicting Stuart. And here's my rationale. Why should I do business with you? Because I'm good, because I'm fast, because I've been in the business 30 years, because I. Well, you hearing that is my opinion of myself. If I give you the reason why your peers do business with me, I think I'm more inclined to buy into that. So I would phrase Stuart's 9-word elevator speech. I'd put in one more word. I would say, my clients feel that I'm the greatest travel agent in the world. That's easier to say. And you're blaming your clients for putting you up on the pedestal, not yourself up on the pedestal. So my clients think I'm the greatest travel agent in the world. Well, why is that? Well, because, and then you can say why your clients think you're the greatest travel agent in the world. I get back to them, I research, I bump. So that might be easier to roll off your tongue, is my clients think I'm the best there is.
Yeah.
Everyone who's ever hired me thinks I'm the best speaker they've ever heard.
Yeah.
You know, so you're not tooting your own horn, you're sharing the news from others. I would just put a little slant on it myself.
And by the way, one time somebody said, really, look at me like, you know, really? Because I, you know, am I the best speaker in the world? I like to think I am, but I'm sure there are better speakers. And I may not be the best every time. I try to be. That's my goal. You know, and how do you rate better, the best? In any case, here's what I said when they said, really? With the head tilt. I said, at least that's what Mom tells me. You know, you can make it fun too, but I think Mike's twist on it is great as well. Diane Bean, yes, your comments are coming through. We've just got tons of comments. Unbelievable. I was so grateful. Frida, thank you for sending me your email address. I will, I will send you the note on that. Anna says, I'm thinking ahead of a women's networking group I plan to attend next month. Go, Anna. Go. Don't think about it. Go sign up and commit yourself. If they charge a fee, pay it. So when you get out of bed in the morning, you won't change your mind and you'll go.
But remember the 5-word sales plan, though, when you go to that meeting.
Yeah.
Get them talking.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Don't
perfect.
Don't say I and me and what I do. You know, don't do that.
Yeah. Diane, amazing insight, Mike and Stuart. Thank you. Glad I made a point to be here. Glad you did too. Anna says, I'm thinking I'd respond something to the effect, I want my clients to feel that I'm the best travel agent in the world. Anna, here's the deal, everybody. You need to own it. When these words come out of your mouth, you need to be comfortable and confident with those words. You know, Mike before used words, I wrote them down. Homogeneous, fulcrum. I'm not very comfortable saying the word fulcrum. I don't know why. But my point is,
Because you're afraid your dentures might fall out.
Well, it's possible, yes. Well, say the words, you need to own it. So you massage those words so that it flows beautifully from you. Kate says, totally agree. Read the business plan. Just wrote mine. Thanks, guys. You bet, Kate. Alfred, I'm going to pick up the speed here, baby. Alfreda says, thanks, Mike and Stuart. All bold. Multiple exclamation points. That makes me feel good. This was great and practical. Most of us need a reminder. Good deal. Lori says, thanks for the answer. I got that kick in the head. Hope I can turn it from sucks to great. We hope so, too. Sassy said, I did lead a group to a place I have not been. It all works out. Your local insider answers all the questions, so you get to enjoy it with everybody else. That's what. Thank you, Sassy, for sharing that. So you make sure, if you, especially going on a tour that requires a local guide, you're not responsible as a group leader necessarily for giving the tour. Let's not forget that. You're going to have a good time too. Alicia says, thank you, Mike. Ceci says, enjoy the ride. Inspire them with your own enthusiasm and gather them, get them close as you know them all. So these would be your clients, your good friends, your family. And, enthusiasm is contagious. We hope that you guys hang up today saying, yeah, these guys are fun. And remember stuff that we're saying and give us feedback, report back, right, Mike? We want to hear when somebody does something we suggest and that it works, or if it doesn't work. As Mike said before, if we don't fail, we don't take steps forward. We don't realize that we need growth in an area. Okay, River Cruise article. Yes, Alfredo wants that River Cruise article, Mike. So I'll follow up with you. I'll get this stuff to you. Alicia says, thank you. Yolanda said, thank you. Mira says, thank you. Signing out. You wouldn't believe how many people we still have on the line. We actually have 50% of the original crowd still on the line, Michael. My son says, we use Concur for corporate clients that book air only. And my son said that he will also check if they use them for Airbnb. Kim says, thank you, and please report back and let us know. Mike and Stuart, thank you for everything. Have a successful and profitable 18. I will use a new elevator speech. Good. Let's see. Alicia says, thank you, Ceci. Diane says, thank you. I think we're winding it up. Stick around here. You never know. There could be a doozy coming. Barbara says, this has been very helpful. Thank you, guys. Mimi says, thank you both for your expertise and advice. Happy holidays. I'm looking forward to 18 and your continued webinars to keep me motivated and informed. Friends, if you're not already signed up on our lists or on our Facebook pages, please do so you know when we do stuff like this. And this is the last one. Lenore says, yes, the River Cruise article would be helpful. You know what, Mike? Maybe we'll get that. We'll put that link to the article on the follow-up email. Yeah,
I'll send it to you. If nobody comes to me direct, I'll send it to you and you can put it on the show notes.
Okay. We're going to do a 30-second countdown. What do you say? You want to do a 30-second countdown, Mike?
30 seconds.
30-second countdown. This is your last chance, ladies and gentlemen, to get in a comment, a question, a suggestion. Thank you for correcting us on the Hubble situation and for all of your input and your enthusiasm, because to be honest with you, it's one thing we sit here talking to a computer screen. It's another when you give us the feedback. This is very important. And it's the wind beneath our wings, Mike, if I may be so bold. Mike, any closing thoughts?
Two kinds of people you can help, people you can't help. Don't play to the wrong crowd. Have a happy Hanukkah, a Merry Christmas, and let's make it our business to make 2018 the absolute best year of our business life.
Indeed. Friday, YouTube, over 60 of my previously recorded business coaching session podcasts go live. Check them out. It's there. Use it. Get more inspiration. Grateful that you're here. Go be the best travel agent in the world. 5 seconds.
There you go.
3, 2, 1. Hey, Mike. Thanks.
Stuart, thanks for having me, my friend.
You bet.
Enjoyed it. Happy Hanukkah to you.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you. Bye, everybody.